Hey everyone, today we are in a Massachusetts logging forest driving around, and these roads are horrible. We just had a warm front come through overnight. Yesterday was freezing. These roads were really good to drive on, but now that it got warm, the top couple inches has melted. It's extremely slippery mud. It's not horrible yet because I can only sink down about an inch or two, since there is still frozen ground under there a bit. But I have to drive really slow because this is just as slippery as ice. Very slick mud right now. Tonight we're gonna have a cold front coming through. So temperatures right now are 46. It's gonna get down to 8 by tomorrow morning. Temperatures are gonna crash and it's gonna become very windy again as the cold front comes through. So everything's gonna flash freeze. Look at this. There's a big stick in the road we're about to run over. Yeah. Crunch. Lots of branches on the road today from the wind. Uh-oh. We might have to get the chainsaw out. This is why I brought the chainsaw. I knew it was gonna be kind of stormy out. I can tell someone with a big truck went there and drove over that thing. I'm gonna pull over. Yeah, we gotta get the chainsaw out. Chainsaw, I just pulled the cord and the cord ain't going back in. Is this thing broken? Oh, there we go. Just poked it with a knife. Guess I pulled it too far. Weird. Just hoping I can get it started quickly. Quickly hopping out of the vehicle to take a look at this culvert pipe. We've been here in the past. Sometimes the beavers plug it up. Water is flowing out of it. Water's not going over the road. But where's the pipe going in? Right there. Not a single blockage. The Fish and Game is going to have to fix this. Somehow the structure got all destroyed. And you can see the water's up. Look at this. The ice, it's somehow anchored down and there's a bunch of water flowing over the top of it. This is a nice little swamp. Let's continue. I just turned around and looked at that culvert pipe. Now this is that tree I cut up there. I knew it was going to be stormy. That's why I had the chainsaw on me today. These roads are an absolute mess. Many of these logging roads in Massachusetts are not left open year round. They are opened up in the winter time for hunting season. They are typically not left open year around because of what you're seeing now. People would destroy them, make them completely, rutted up, really messy with the mud sinking into them, getting stuck out here. More storm debris on this road. To me, it looks like somebody has already driven through this. Someone drove around it too. Let's get some of that out of the road. I could go around it, but I better move some of it. Alrighty, everyone. A lot of these trees, the one I cut up and this one, are oak trees. Many of these oak trees are sick and dead and falling over because there was a massive gypsy moth infestation not too many years back, and many of the trees did not recover from being defoliated like 4 years in a row. As you can see in that little time lapse, a lot of debris on the road from these dead trees. And this is the end of this road. It's gated off. We can't go down there. Sometimes of the year that might be open. Yes, it does look like sometimes they leave that open for hunters. It's not open at the moment. We are kind of lucky to be able to be out here right now. Usually the Massachusetts logging forests are only open in the winter time, but everything's frozen. Usually you don't get to come out here when it's rainy and this kind of situation. It's actually quite sad being out here because I've never got the chance to come out to this area of the forest, and so many of the giant beautiful oak trees, you can tell they're dead. They're not just in hibernation for the winter, they are completely dead from the gypsy moth infestation. Yep, lots of branches just falling out of the dead trees. The ones we're driving by right now are dead. These couple are alive. Hopefully they'll recover from it. Very muddy road, pretty fun to drive on. Can't drive too fast or you lose control on this type of road. Just as slippery as ice in certain areas. Big mud hole right here. Some of these ruts just want to grab you and sling you off the road. Big puddle. You know that triangular trash rack we often visit in Massachusetts? You know, that's the only place I've ever seen one of those, is Massachusetts. And right here, I'm going to get out and show you. I found another one, also in Massachusetts, right here. We're going to see if there's any debris on it that we could possibly get off. We got to find a place to park. Oh, wow, there is a lot of debris to get off it. Wow, I'm excited. Pull over for a vehicle can pass, even though we'll probably not see another soul. Good thing I got the chainsaw. The wind is starting to pick up again as the cold front is about to come through and make it extremely cold. Don't want to get trapped in here since not many people come out here. Good thing is it's Massachusetts, so have a pretty good signal. Look at this. There's a belt buckle right there. And there's even a grate here so the beaver can't go up this way and clog it. Although I've never seen that kind of activity. If there's a grate on this end, I've never seen a beaver go up because they float debris. It is kind of cool. Look at all the trees that fell over. And those look pretty recent. Definitely pretty recent. Let me get the big high boots on and we'll get some of this debris out of here. When I first drove by, I thought it was holding up water. It is not holding up water, but I want to get some of that debris off there. By the evidence, there are no active beavers here at the moment. But this area, they put these kind of structures up because they want to work with the beavers. They do not relocate them in this area of Massachusetts. They put up beaver-proof structures and they work with them, which is a really good thing. Before I get the big high boots on, I want to quickly walk over here and I want to show you some of these uprooted trees. This is kind of cool, especially with all the moss. Lots of beautiful moss all over these trees. Very recently uprooted. Can I walk in here without the big high boots? Yeah, I can. Ground is pretty stable. Beautiful moss. All right, nothing's gonna change on the other side, so I'm not gonna set up camera number 2. Look at the welding on this thing. They must have just put this thing in. Brand new. Am I hearing trees or a car coming? There is actually debris right here. A little bit underneath it. Much more shallow on this side. It looks like they had to dig a bit to put it into place. That's about it. It looks like the DOT got creative when they built this one. I like this. Instead of making it out of rebar, they used nice heavy duty stuff. See, that's very fresh welding. Recently built this. This is all newer metal. You can tell by how it's not really rusted, still galvanized. This is an older piece of scrap they obviously used. Pretty rusty. It's been laying around for a while. That piece of angle iron. This piece. So, you can tell they are not ordering these. They are making them for these swamps, which is pretty cool. All right, everyone, we got some flooding happening right here, so we're gonna get out and try to see why. We're going over a culvert pipe right here, which appears to be fine. It's accepting water, but we will go and check it out. Right here, we got this intersection with a lot of water crossing it. It's pretty soft. Why is the water crossing it? I see a culvert pipe right here. Why is it not going in the culvert? We need to stop and figure this out. Where can I park? Yeah, I can park right here by this gate. There's enough room for someone else to go by. It looks like we got something, but before I gear up for this, I want to confirm. Look at this swamp. You see the ice? It's all stuck around all the trees, so it can't float. Good amount of water sitting on top of that ice. So here's the culvert. It's an aluminum culvert. Why is it not working, and why is it crossing right here? Where is it? Yeah, good thing I didn't gear up. This is so stupid. Look at the pipe. Either a big truck going over it somehow crushed it, pushing the end up, or it just wasn't installed correctly to begin with. Look at that. Absolutely nothing blocking it. I love that noise. You know, I'll never understand why companies with dirt roads use plastic or aluminum culverts. Unless they're installed very deep, they're going to end up getting crushed because these roads become soft when it rains and during mud season. And when heavy log trucks go over them, it crushes them, deforming them, pushing them up on the ends, like what I believe happened right there. Although it didn't seem crushed. Maybe frost lifted it up, I don't know. What do we got here for a culvert? Is this another aluminum one? Yes, it is exactly the same thing, but this one's working, and this one is deep enough that probably nothing will happen. You know, when I'm on logging roads in Maine and I show you those giant trucks going by me, in the wintertime when the roads are frozen, they use double wide trailers. A normal trailer doesn't extend past the track base of the truck, but these ones extend multiple feet on each side. The legal limit is 80,000 pounds on most roadways. Some roads it's 100,000 pounds. In Massachusetts, the majority of the roads are 80,000 pounds. So you would never see a double wide coming out of here. There's no sawmills that close to the logging forest. That looks like an old culvert they tore out. See it all deformed. And this is actually a good example. See these walls here? Look at this. This all used to be farms back in the day until the US found it more feasible to grow it all on the other side of the country and truck it here instead. Yep, the farmers would move it all over to the edge every time they'd find a rock. That's why there's rock walls all over New England. Yeah, look at this. It looks like the wheelbase of a truck. Look at this. The crushed parts. It's going over a softer road. That's what I think exactly happened here to this pipe. Has it been here long enough that the tree is starting to grow into it? A little bit, it looks like. The bottom of the culvert was also completely rusted out when they ripped it out. So like I was saying, most log trucks you see on the road are going to be under 100,000 pounds because of weight limits. But up in Maine, some of those log trucks can weigh over 200,000 pounds because they're traveling on all their private roads. They could run trucks that big out here, but it's just not feasible. They could use that truck just to get it to the main road and then put it on a different trailer. They could, but they don't. It's just not feasible. In Maine, when the roads are frozen in the winter, they run those big 200,000-pound trucks around because the roads are frozen, and the sawmills are located right outside the logging forest. Typically in Maine, you will not see those double-wide trailers when it's rainy, mud season, because they're obviously going to get stuck. It's going to destroy their culvert pipes, and they know that kind of stuff. If it's a dry summer, the roads are nice and stiff, you might see them, but typically they run basically in the winter. Puddles are so much fun to drive through. This tree just fell over. That wasn't here last night. Puddle time. Road is really soft right here. I was a little afraid of bottoming out there for a moment. Big puddle coming up. Look at these. Am I seeing? No, that's not water crossing the road. I see suds. I can tell it's moving. Yeah, it's coming down the road because the road is very junky. I don't even like driving over this. Very soft there. Really bad section of road. Yep, you see, this is what happens when the road isn't graded for a long time. The drainage ditches have completely filled in, and now you got water rushing down the road, continuing to erode it. The good thing is this road is pretty rocky, a lot of gravel, so it's only causing problems down there in the dip in the road. You can tell this area here was logged probably in the last 5 years based on what has grown back. Just think back at what a beautiful farm this must have been like 100 years ago. This would have been a really nice farm. Such a beautiful road. Yeah, I can tell by the tree stumps, maybe 5 years ago they logged all this. We got a massive puddle coming up as soon as this truck moves. Big old puddles. I think we're gonna be okay in them. Pretty deep. I'd say 10 inches or so in the big one. That one wasn't really much of anything at all. Looks like some deep mud up here based on what that truck just went through. It's kind of nice being behind someone because you can see how deep it is when they go through it. That truck's also heavier than me. Look at the truck bounce around. There's some serious potholes in this section of road. I was here last night. I think this may be a place where there was a culvert I wanted to look at, but it was too dark to do anything. Water is unusually high on the right. I know where I am. I've been here before. Yeah, I've literally done updates of this culvert. It is definitely higher on the right. That could mean that Beaver's plugged it. Let's get out quickly. There's not many people out here. If someone else happens to come, I'll jump right back in the vehicle. I'm not going to shut it off. Wow, I never actually went through this before. This road has always been too bad for me to pass. I just heard a slurp, like a whirlpool. A lot of water coming out. Let's see what we got. I know there's active beavers in this swamp. Wow, this thing's not even clogged. This culvert is just at capacity, and there is a whirlpool. That's what we just heard slurp. Let's wait for it to do it again. Also a pretty new structure. No, I'm not going to do it again. Look at that. There's a yellow jacket. No, that's not a yellow jacket. Some kind of wasp or something. Yellow jackets live underground, don't they? Or maybe they do both. I'm going to have to look that up. I'll put it on the screen. Because I believe I've seen yellow jackets in hives like that, and I've also seen them in the ground. Anyways, there is a culvert. You can't see it with all the mud going out there. There's a culvert. It ends here, and another one starts. So if one or the other gets jammed, it can go. It's just at capacity. It's rained so much. This tiny little culvert just can't handle it. There's not a blockage. It's flowing real hard. Look at the torrent coming out of it. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. I just realized, I bet there's a mess down there. There's a giant beaver structure at when the road wraps around. That is one of the biggest beaver lodges I've ever seen out there. More mud hole. Back out to a main artery of the logging road. Oh my gosh, I knew there was gonna be a problem. Look at all this water flooding over. You guys probably recognize this location, don't you? The DOT did so much work here trying to work with these beavers. Let me get out and show you. So this is all a beaver dam next to the road. They dug out this drainage ditch and added a lot of fill here to make the road higher. I always feared that they may have undermined this beaver dam by digging this out, but they didn't dig it much, and you see it has yet to fail. But that could mean imminent failure, that there's so many leaks coming through it. All it takes is enough to undermine that, whole thing will just let loose. And that means the beavers will probably die because it's going to be very cold tomorrow. And they're not going to be able to build back in that kind of weather. 1, 2, 3 of the biggest beaver lodges I've ever seen. Look at this. You know why it's going over? 2 reasons. The beavers probably plugged the beaver deceivers. And reason 2, the beaver deceivers are inadequate. Look how small these pipes are for the amount of water crossing the road. It can't handle it. The system literally cannot handle this. Look at it, it's even crossing up there. Look at the torrent coming out of that culvert. That doesn't even look like it's clogged. Wow. These systems are working at capacity. Massachusetts, if you're seeing this video, should get out here and put in like a 3-foot culvert here. Because one of their major problems is they have this here. Everything coming in from the drainage ditch right there where it's going over the dam is coming in here, into this, into that. But what you're not seeing under the water, my other videos you could see it when the water's a bit lower. You got this one big pipe coming in here from a beaver deceiver. Further under and going through the dam, there's 2 more. You have 3 equal-sized pipes leading into a pipe the same size as those. So those 3 could never get the capacity, plus all this water coming in. You got 3 pipes that size going into this, plus the water going into here, with a tiny little pipe coming out of it. Look how small the pipe is. 2 of those pipes cannot get to their capacity. It's blasting so hard it broke the fence off. There was a big beaver dam there like a year ago, but they removed it. This is a beaver sanctuary. That's why they're trying to work with the beavers instead of relocating them. The system is obviously not adequate enough. I've never been here after so much rain, and it's not even that much rain. Yesterday, we probably got 1 inch, 2 inches overnight, maybe another inch today. That's 4 inches, but it was spread out through an entire day. We've had worse. I wonder what this place looks like during some of the tropical storms that we've got in the past, where it drops like 7 inches. Oh, right there, right there. You see it? You can see one of the other pipes coming in. There is a third one somewhere. I can just see water all over the place blasting over the Beaver Dam. Let's move over here one more time. Is there anything on these pipes at all? Probably not. With what I see coming out of there, I don't think there is going to be anything on these pipes. No. Awesome whirlpools, though. You know what? In my best judgment for this situation here, because I've seen it so many times with other logging companies and stuff, this road is not maintained by the logging company, I don't believe. It is a logging road, like the roads I showed you at the beginning of the video. Where I even started the video, you could tell they actively logged that, probably in the last month or so. Wow, the dam did fail here. And you can see the beavers fixed it. Yeah, look at that. Beavers had to get up and work in the winter because of the incompetence here. What state official thought it was a good idea to come in here with an excavator or a backhoe and dig that close to a dam? It's literally, they undermined it, and it failed there. It's probably going to keep failing in other spots anytime there's a storm. At least there's a good amount of open water. The beavers look like they actually just made that repair. I was actually kind of happy with the repairs they made last time I came out here. It's sad to see it's not going as planned. What I think they should do now that I'm seeing how much water comes through here, get rid of that culvert, put a small wooden bridge there like most of the logging companies have, and where I'm standing now, raise this whole thing up like 6 feet. There's a logging road that literally did that like a month ago. It's one of my update videos. They raised the entire road 6 feet, gave up on the tiny culvert, and just put a bridge in. Problem basically solved. It takes forever for a beaver to clog up a bridge. These roads right here to me are a little bit of a gray area of who exactly takes care of them. I know there's numerous logging companies out here. I know the one I'm on right now, the state of Massachusetts, actually takes care of this. They just graded it earlier this year. It used to be a rocky mess, and you'd have the idiots coming out here in sedans that smash their oil pans. I've found multiple rocks covered in oil with trails leaving it. Yeah, they pulled all the rocks out of the road earlier this year, which is a good thing. Road is a lot better. I would say they should have a bridge. They really should. They really should put a bridge in there. And a logging bridge does not cost a lot of money, but for some reason, I can't see the state of Massachusetts putting a logging bridge up with just little tire rails so you can't accidentally slide off it. I feel like Massachusetts, the way they are, they'd have to go all out and put a bridge with railings, you know, so an idiot doesn't fall off it. Because it doesn't seem like people could be trusted enough with a bridge like the ones you see me drive across with no railings. Alright, there's a good amount of flooding here. This is a lot of rain. Guess there's just not a culvert pipe here. A lot of debris all over the road. Not as much as I expected, though. I expected the storm to be a lot worse. I thought there was going to be torrential rain with downpours, but it came down pretty light over a period of 24 hours, so there was no street flooding or anything in the area. And the only trees it seemed to have knocked down were already dead. Pretty weak storm. Oh, very muddy here. Oh wow, what a mud hole. Driving around out here, I couldn't believe that we didn't find any blockages with the amount of rain. I just found one. Whole area here is flooded. This is going to be an easy one to get. It should be. I'm imagining it's clogged. You see this gigantic aluminum pipe. I shouldn't say gigantic, but it's a 2-foot pipe. That's not capacity coming out of it. There is a blockage. Maybe we can get this swamp to drain back a little bit. I'm not even going to get camera 2. I'm just going to give this a quick kick and you'll see a difference. I changed my mind. I do want camera number 2. Alrighty, camera number 2 is rolling. Let's see what happens. I will pick that up in a minute. Oh, it certainly got louder. I'm the one who fixed that grate. That thing was laying down like that the last time we came out here. Something knocked it over, and I picked it back up, placed it there. This could be a dangerous pipe. There's a lot of pressure right there. A lot of suction going in. Ton of it. Pretty awesome whirlpool. Stay away from that opening while I go and grab the grate. Let's pull this thing out of the water. See what we can get off of it. There's really not a lot. It just rains so much that a lot of these pipes are close to capacity as it is. What was that loud noise over on camera number 2? Back in there. I'm gonna say we definitely improved that. There was no whirlpool action or suction like that when we got here. This was close to going over the road. May it have been going over the road? Let's go check. It very well could have been. It's like a half a foot from that. And it hasn't rained in hours, so I would have imagined this dropped a bit. There is no actual evidence of it crossing. Don't see any erosion, and you would have erosion. There's definitely some seepage going across. And once again, you can see the rock wall from the farmer who used to be out here. And what's this? That's very recently disturbed. Did someone crash into the mud? Or was that heavy machinery? Yeah, we definitely got it flowing better, which means this will drop back a little bit. It's not raining anymore, so this whole thing will be back to normal by morning. I think I hear like an ATV or something coming my way. What are those noises we're hearing? Let's look inside the pipe. Got a lot of power there. I guess it's pebbles going through those noises you're hearing. I think the turret is sucking in little pebbles or stuff. Probably. Oh, it just started raining again. It's supposed to end with like an inch of snow when the temperatures crash tonight. I love days like this. I love extreme fluctuations in temperature. Yesterday, the high temperature in Mass was below freezing. Extremely cold nights. Last night, it rose throughout the entire night. And then tonight, in a matter of like 6 hours, it's supposed to go from the 40s into the single digits. Just crazy. I love when these fast-moving cold fronts come through. I love those kind of fluctuations. You can even hear it in the trusses of the house at home. You hear these loud bangs because it's shifting so abruptly with the massive temperature swings. This is what I was talking about right here, as far as Massachusetts having to put railings on a logging bridge. Barely anyone uses this. This is so unnecessary, having railings like this. You literally can't bring a wide load down here because of that. I think it's ridiculous. A logging road that barely anyone uses except people out here for recreation. Why does it need those giant railings? Logging roads usually just have a little rail for your wheels can't slide off it. Good amount of water here. Culvert is definitely working. Look at this tree. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Look at this. We'll get out and move those on the way back. Here's an area I always come to check for clogs, and it looks like there probably is a clog now. The pipe might just be at capacity because it's so small. We're gonna turn around and take a look at that. This road becomes a dead end in another couple hundred feet. Why is this road always blocked off, even at this time of year? I don't know. You can tell it's used a lot. Maybe I'm just missing the time period it's open. I've never seen it open though. I even had a GPS one time tell me to go down there. That's why I found this road in the first place. And I was unable to do it because that gate was shut. You see, this area here was recently logged. There's some kind of foundation there. I never noticed that before. That was kind of cool. Pulling back up on this culvert pipe and flooded forest. Rain is really picking up now. Let's get out and see this pipe. Barely anyone's using these roads, so I'm just gonna park here and I can quickly move if someone does happen to come. These roads are too slippery to try pulling way over. All right, let's look for it. You see there's a large torrent of water coming out. That might not be at capacity. Let's see what we got. Where is the pipe? It's right here. Anything blocking it? No, nothing is blocking it. It's just at capacity. There was maybe a stick right there I just let through. Nope, not a blockage. While I'm here, I better rinse this mud off that I forgot to from the last culvert pipe. A lot of nasty orange mud.
Post 10.
Yes.
Dude, we came out here looking for you after the rain. I swear to God. We watch your YouTube channel all the time. Dude, what are the odds? Like, honest to God, man. We literally came out here. We're like, after it's raining, because we've seen a bunch of your videos, like the Beaver Dam. That's
yes.
Like, where they did the road and shit.
Yeah.
But
I was just up there. They dug out the ditch next to it and it's undermining it. You can see it failed in multiple spots.
Yeah.
And they had to fix it.
Dude, yeah. Can I take a selfie with you right here?
Yeah.
Do you mind?
I just got out there and removed that tree. I cut that out of the video because I'm not going to show the vehicle they were driving, but I just met two fans of the channel out here hunting. They said they were fans of my channel. One of them took a selfie with me, and they told me that they actually went out today because it was raining a lot, and they thought they may have seen me out here because they have recognized some of the places from my videos. He just said that there's a gigantic tree laying across one of the roads up here. So if it's a tree that's small enough, we can move it out of the way. He made it sound like it's huge, so if it is huge, I might not be able to do it with my chainsaw, but I'll definitely give it a shot. That was a little bit slippery stopping right there. Here's another tree. So right there, see that water that's dangerously close to going over the road? They simply just have to come out with an excavator. That ditch needs to be dug out a little bit so it can get to the culvert. Culvert has completely no blockage. This puddle you're seeing is the same reason. It just can't get to the culvert, so it's kind of pooling. That's nothing a grader can't fix. I just got out to look at some flooded areas that were getting close to the road, but it appears there are no pipes there. I went down on the other side where it was dry, nothing. So while I was out, some guy just pulled up on me and he warned me that there's a tree down up here, the one I'm going to see if I can get it removed. Alrighty everyone, we're coming up on the tree. I see it. Let's see how bad this is. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to get this out of here. Alright, let's fire up the chainsaw and get this thing out of the road. Alright, that was a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be, but I'm also just exhausted from today. I've been doing this kind of stuff all day, and I actually haven't ate anything since... I don't even know if I ate today, did I? No, I don't think I did. I've been busy storm chasing and doing this kind of stuff all day. Didn't even eat. That's why I feel a bit weak. Road is clear enough for most vehicles anyways. Here we go. Crunch, crunch, crunchity crunch. I am covered in so much sap. I don't need to go down here. I just wanted to come down here to cut the tree up. Only reason I drove down here. Going out that way, it's a little bit out of my way. But now the road's back open. My vehicle in 4x4 and it helps a lot. I was driving around with all-wheel drive, and when you have all-wheel drive, when a wheel starts slipping, it puts more power to that wheel. It's not evenly distributed. The computer tries to decide where it's going, but now with it being evenly distributed, I'm not slipping as much on these crazy muddy ruts. Thankfully, my hands were wet when I was cutting up that tree, because with wet hands, tree sap has a problem sticking to you. So most of that tree sap has just fallen off me. That's a good thing. You ever accidentally run over the very end of a log and it flips up and it hits the side of the vehicle so hard? Yeah, that just happened to me. One time I hit one so hard that it left a little dent in the door. I don't care. My vehicle's all scratched up. I use it for a lot of working and stuff. I'll drive through bushes or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Take a look at this mess. I can tell that this was recently agitated by an excavator. So, I don't know. I've traveled this road so many times and I don't remember a culvert there. It looks like maybe it just washed out from the heavy rain. It just started absolutely pouring here. The wind is so strong, wouldn't be surprised if we find a big tree down in the road. It just really picked up. This must be that cold front coming through. Yep, whipping winds. Like 6 hours, it's gonna be below freezing. Alright everyone, I think we're going to end the video here since it's starting to get dark and we went down most of the roads. Massachusetts doesn't have a lot of logging roads. Hope today's video was interesting. Thanks for watching everyone and have a great day.